What's going on, world? It's your boy Kuya P. This is the NRW. Nerds rule the world. Back to do another amazing interview for the people. You know how I do. We've been having a lot of fun covering adult content, shouting out to all my peoples over at Exotica, my good pal Erica Icon over at the Rub PR, having a lot of amazing people in the industry come through to just show that they're much more than just your wild sexual dreams. They're real people. They get down just like we do, and we're gonna have some fun. And as you see on the screen today, a brand new superstar in the game as of last year, my pal Cassidy Luxe. We're going to get all into how she got into the industry, what she has coming up this Friday, y'all, at Sapphire 60. All my NYC peeps need to come check her out. Throw them ducats out there, buy the merch, support the pal Cassidy. And we're going to just get into everything. She recorded some new scenes. We're going to talk about that. So let me stop talking. Y'all don't want to see me. Y'all want to see this right here. You want to see Cassidy Luxe. I'm going to unpin it right now. Boom. There she is on the screen. Cassidy, I'm shooting off air horns. You don't hear it right now. It'll be in post because I didn't want to deafen you. I know you're probably going to get deafened with all the music that you'll be listening to at Sapphire 60 this Friday.
Yeah, probably.
How are you?
Oh, not much. Just here hanging.
Awesome. Well, thank you for giving me some of that time. I know you have a very busy schedule with everything you're doing. You got to get to New York. Well, where are you kind of headquartered at? Are you having to fly? Are you already in NYC? What's going on?
Nope, I'm in South Florida right now. It's where I live. So I'll fly out of here on Friday.
Okay.
In the morning.
All right. And then what can the fans expect? Let's promote that right now. Feature dancing at Sapphire 60. Is this like one of your first times coming to that particular club? What can the fans expect when they come see you on Friday?
Yeah, so it's my first time over at Sapphire 60. I actually used to dance in Philly. When I first got into like sex work and all that, I was a dancer in Philly. So they can definitely expect porn meets stripper. So we definitely got a really fun, full-sided experience for the fans and whoever else may be attending. So I'm really excited to really give them a great show.
Awesome. Everybody, again, go check out Cassidy Luxe, Sapphire 60 this Friday. She's got a lot of amazing stuff in the works. But before we get there, Cassidy, like as I said earlier, you're new to the game as of last year. I'm so curious on this journey on like where we discover ourselves and find out who we want to be and what makes us happy. I think that's so important because there's so many of us that are not doing what makes us happy, and we're just kind of living in a rut like this pandemic that we were in. How did you kind of transition from pastry chef into like, running in OnlyFans, I'm assuming, and then being a creator, and then jumping into that next spectrum last year with getting more into like the adult work?
Yeah, so it was the pandemic. That was an eye-opener for me. I actually was working in corporate at the time. I went to school to be a pastry chef, but I never executed after that. I ended up in corporate and I was miserable. It was getting really bad for my mental health. Like I was seeking therapy and whatnot. And I was like, this isn't worth it. Like, this isn't how I want to live my life. I had always really idolized like sex symbols and porn stars and like reality TV people and whatnot. It was something I had always had interest in from a really young age. And then the pandemic hit, we went home for lockdown and all we had was time. Like, I was like, all I have is time on my hands. I need to do something with it. It's now or never. Like, It's really now or never. We're never going to get this again. And one of my friends, my best friend, who's a musician, gave me the idea about OnlyFans. And I actually had already had an account on there, but I wasn't utilizing it. I was just scared. I was like, well, I don't even know what to do with this, but I made one. And my friend was like, you should really jump on OnlyFans. Like the stuff that you put on Instagram, you can make money off of. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Yeah. And then I finally did it and it went really successfully. And I realized that I felt great. Like the feedback that I was receiving from the people that were supporting the page and whatnot, it made me feel like beautiful. I was like, this is exactly who I am. Like, I'm able to express myself exactly how I am and who I want to be. And this is me.
Yeah.
Um, so I kept going with it. I wrote it out during the lockdown with OnlyFans. And then I got back into dancing, and then
Oh, so you
dancing,
were already dancing a little bit before?
not really, like not in clubs and stuff like that, just
Okay.
like for fun at other clubs. Like I would like go up to the DJ booth and do little things and
Oh, so
whatnot.
like,
But
okay, got you.
yeah, just like stuff like that. But I went like full stripper once the pandemic was lifted, and I fell in love. Like I was like, this is everything that I want, like all the
Yeah.
stuff that I'm doing online, and then now that I'm taking it to an in-person type of setting, that actually led me to move to Florida. Because I had always wanted to live in Florida since I was little. So I was like, I'm doing good. Like I'm gonna do what I want completely. I'm gonna
Yeah.
move. And then I moved to Florida. My neighbor ended up being a retired porn star, and we became best friends. And
Awesome.
I had asked her, I was like, what do you think? Like, do you think you can get me in the industry? And she's like, oh, I can definitely get you in the industry, but you have to be really serious about this. And I was like, oh, I'm
Exactly.
serious about this.
Yeah.
And it was like a day or so later, she's like, I reached out to these people, they're interested. And I think within a week later, I signed to an agency and started shooting.
Let's go. Awesome. Live your best life. Do
Yeah,
what makes you happy. That is
exactly.
that is my mantra is just doing what makes me happy and living our best lives, especially,
Yeah.
with what's going on in the world. You can't control it. But what you
Yeah.
can control is yourself. And so I applaud you for finding out what makes you happy and just living your best life. Go ahead,
Exactly.
Cassidy.
Hey,
Let's go.
it is scary to take a leap of faith like that. I
It
didn't know
is.
what was going to happen, but it was so worth it. And it was a really easy process because it was like I knew that I was meant to do these things. So it really just fell into place once I finally just took the plunge.
Dope. I love that.
Yeah.
Were you always a very sexual person and confident in yourself? Or did that kind of take over time? Did you have to make that transition a little bit?
I definitely have always been very confident. I've never really been like an insecure person. And I've definitely always had like interest in sexuality and things like that. So yeah, I mean it was really easy for me to transition into this role because it really was like who I am. So yeah, it wasn't too hard.
Excellent, excellent. So you get into the industry last year, with this amazing neighbor of yours who was in the business before.
Yeah.
Did I know a lot of stuff shoots in Florida? So were you actually like starting off in like Miami or whatever, or did you fly out to LA?
No,
Can we talk on that? Because I know there's a lot of people that want to get into the game, want to get into the business, but again, and like I tell all my friends, you have to be serious about it and you have to learn about it before you do anything. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Definitely follow your dreams. I don't want to shut down anybody's dreams, but make sure you educate yourself.
Yeah, definitely do a little research and some soul searching too. You really have to know yourself before you put yourself in this type of position. It's a
Exactly.
different type of vulnerability. But no, my very first scene that I got, they flew me out to Arizona to shoot. It was for hotmillsfuck.com. It was super awesome. They were amazing. They flew me out. They got me a beautiful hotel. The set was awesome. Hair, makeup, it was just like for a first scene, it was like, oh my gosh, like I felt like a star already, even though nobody knew who I was. I felt like such a star. And the scene itself was super organic. That's all they wanted. They said, just do you. And a lot of surprises came along with that. Some things that I did that I was like, oh my God, I know I could do that. I squirted 3 times. I've never done that in my life.
Let's go.
So it was amazing. But yes, my first one was in Arizona. It wasn't even in Florida. And then I think the following ones were then in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What am I looking for? Pro tips. That's where I was starting off, and this is where I was kind of going. So far the journey has been comfortable, but there's with every industry, there's also, people that kind of take advantage of the industry or, unsafe performers. I know I've with all my other performer friends, people you have to watch out for. Have you experienced anything like that? Hopefully not, but do you have pro tips for anybody with what you've been doing it? Because you've been hitting it hard since you started in 2022. I'm like looking at your list of like different companies you've been working with thus far. Like, you're going at it. So like,
Yeah.
what do you think it takes
I'm
to
so
just be
fortunate.
so efficient?
Yeah, I'm super fortunate for what I've done so far, and I'm so excited to see what's to continue to come. There's still so much more on my checklist that I want to accomplish, but I'm loving the rate that it's going. And luckily, my experiences have been awesome. I have a great agency, so they only work with amazing people that they will continue to work with. So they definitely set us up with great, performers, great producers, all of that. And I've made some really amazing friends in the industry too that, I can always go to if I'm like, hey, like, have you worked with this person or anything? Like, just do like a little digging and whatnot. Cause it's not like, we are performing and we do have our boundaries, work life versus personal life, but it's still an energy exchange. You're still working with other people. You're still very close and having intimate situations with people. So, that's important for me too, is just to make sure that like I'm still like aligned with the work that I'm doing and the people that I'm doing it with. But luckily everything has been amazing. I really have no complaints at all.
I love it. All right. Well, now I can ask the really fun questions. What has been can you recall like your favorite experience this far, or scenario or video, performer or performers, thus far in your career?
I definitely think my Naughty America scene is definitely one of my favorites, because it was definitely like the first like I just felt like it was a real like porn experience, because we were acting, improvising, performing, like it was everything. It was my first like real big set that I was on with multiple people in the room. We had a room full of people for that one, the hair, the makeup, the photos, like everything. It was just like the real full experience. And it was my first time. It was really like my first scripted scene too. It wasn't super scripty. Like we could kind of just roll with it if we were able to, but yeah, it was just like a real like acting. It just felt like very Hollywood.
Love it.
And then second to that, definitely My Evil Angel, which will be my very first DVD that's releasing super soon. That was my first real big anal scene. It's not out yet, but it's being teased currently. And so that was definitely like my other favorite performance, doing that anal for Evil Angel. I worked with Francesca Lee and Mark Wood, and they were so awesome, just hyping me up the whole time. So yeah.
Love it. Love it. Everybody, I'm going to have Cassidy's links in the description below. Make sure you follow, subscribe, do all the things. So when that drops, you can cop that, check it out. That was going to be also on my list of things to talk about. When I saw that though, and I was thinking about that, I ain't gonna lie, my butt clenched a little bit. Was it your first time? Had you ever before you got into the work? Did you do that in your personal life? Like, because sometimes people don't do it. They save it for the work.
Yeah.
Was that a weird transition?
No, I did anal in my personal life. Anal is my favorite to shoot. Like I love shooting anal. I definitely think that it's kind of like my thing. And it's like that one thing that I'm going to continue to roll with. I definitely would like to take the title of an anal queen. So we're working towards it. I just did a Mike Adriano collab, which is on my OnlyFans. And that was really awesome too. So that was another big deal for me in the anal side of things. But yeah, I love shooting anal.
Let's make that happen, y'all. Let's get those nominations when like the XBiz and AVN Awards happen. Let's make that happen for Cassidy.
I would love to see that Evil Angel one do really well. So
good luck, my friend. That would be awesome.
Thank you.
So scripted scenes. So you love a little bit of the acting aspect of things.
I do.
As a filmmaker over here, is that something that you kind of also maybe want to do a little bit more, and maybe even outside of the work, if with how your star grows as it's going to, Cassidy, do you see yourself kind of branching out with more on the acting side of things as well?
Yeah, I love acting. It's actually funny because my entire life, my family had always said, like, you're going to be an actress one day. And I'm like, well, I don't think they meant porn, but I'm a character. I'm very dramatic and theatrical and whatnot. I definitely would love to do like some like mainstream acting. probably more on like more related to the reality TV side of things. Because that's just personally what I really enjoy is like trash TV. But yeah, I definitely would love to explore that side of things too. I think that'd be super fun. It's like fun just to kind of tap into like a fake reality.
I
It's
love
really
that.
fun.
I ain't gonna lie, it's a guilty pleasure, right?
Yeah.
Can you see yourself as like, you know how like they have different archetypes in like a reality show? How do you think Cassidy would be in like, you know, Real Porn Stars of Miami or something? Like, what do you
That'd be
see
so
yourself like
awesome.
how that would be if that was like, you know,
Like
out
what
there?
type of character I would play in that?
Yeah, yeah, you know, because it's reality, but it's, you know, there's still kind of
That's
like
a really
set
great
roles.
idea. Is that something that even exists yet? The Real Porn Stars of Miami or
If
whatever?
not,
Does that
hey,
even
Hollywood
exist?
producers, I'm looking at y'all. I'm down to do that. I'm
That
down
would
to
be
put that on
so
wax.
cool. It would be such a great place to have a show like that too.
Hey, of
Because it's
course.
Miami is a whole other breed. Like
I'm
it's not
saying.
Florida, and I don't even know if it's the United States. It's a whole other thing. That would be so fun. We should come up with something, or
Hey,
somebody should.
I'll be in touch, Cassidy. We can make that happen.
But
So do
yeah,
you see yourself like? Do you think you'd be like the wild friend? You know, what do you think you would like to do in something like that? Let me tap into your nerdiness in like reality type
oh,
shows.
I don't know. Like I'm such a I keep to myself a lot. I'm very quiet.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like I kind of be that character that's just kind of interesting, but also kind of off to the side a little bit. But at the same time, I like to be the center of attention. That's why I act and do porn, as I like the attention. So I don't know. It really could go either way. I could be like kind of that like who's that character, or I really could have a little bit of a main character moment.
Okay. All right. All right. I love that. We'll branch off into that as you continue to do your things.
Yeah,
I'd love to have you back to talk as you build out your career.
for sure.
So in regards to building out your career, in my notes, you did your first scene with Mike Andriano. You directed with Inked Vixens, and I see the tattoos, and that's actually something else that I wanted to get even deeper on. So you see yourself behind the camera as well. Can
Yeah.
we talk about that?
Yeah, so from the get-go, I really wanted to be on both sides of the industry because I really enjoy creative control as well. So I had shot 2 scenes already for Inked Vixens, and they're amazing. I absolutely love the friendship that we're building. So they were actually out in Miami shooting, and they needed some help, and they reached out and they're like, "Hey, like, can you direct?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I can do that." So I got my first experience directing, and that was super fun. I got to do the main camera, so I got to kind of like guide them and let them know what's looking good, what we should probably get, and yeah, just have that creative control. I really enjoyed it. I definitely would love to, potentially like write out some scenes, like get a whole thing going with that. I like it all. I want to just do all of it.
Let's go. Ambitions, dreams, killing it in the industry. I love
Thank
that.
you.
Don't limit
Thank you.
yourself in anything you do. Let's go. All
Very
right.
true.
So you're doing that in regards to that. Actually, I don't want to lose that topic because sometimes I can get sidetracked when I'm having fun. You did it for Inked Vixens, and I'm seeing the tattoos. You see the backdrop that I put of you behind me. Can we
like it.
talk about tattoos? Because it's
Yeah.
obviously one of your biggest features. Let's say that beyond everything else, but it's
Yeah.
noticeable. And as a fan of tattoos, ink work, I love that. What got you into tattoos? Do you have a favorite tattoo? Can you talk about tattoos and all of that?
So I never wanted tattoos. I never wanted them. My parents, they both had, my dad passed, but my mom has tattoos. My dad had tattoos. And they were always like, when I turned 18, they were like, "We want to get you a tattoo for your birthday." I was like, "I don't want a tattoo." And I don't know why. I think I was just afraid. I had already had a lot of piercings. I knew that I enjoyed that, so needles wasn't really the problem, but I guess it was just the fear of the type of pain that it would be.
Mm.
So I waited so long, and then I went through a pretty significant breakup. And they had tattoos and had always told me like, "You can't have tattoos. You wouldn't even like it." Like always just doubting me and pushing me away from the idea of wanting to get one. And I also think it was they kind of just wanted to have that to themselves. Like they wanted to enjoy tattoos.
Mm.
So yeah, I went through a breakup and I was like, you know what? Like, there's nothing more I can pierce. I'm gonna get a tattoo. So I did. I got this one here. Sailor
Hey,
Moon. It's Sailor
nerdiness.
Moon. I don't know why I got that. I liked
Oh,
Sailor Moon as a kid, but I wasn't actively watching Sailor Moon at the time. But for
okay.
whatever reason, that's what I ended up getting. And I loved it. I loved the experience. It felt amazing. And it turned into like a monthly maintenance plan for me from then on. Like I was like, I love this. The adrenaline feels amazing. And that's what it is for me. That's why I get my tattoos is I like the adrenaline rush. I'm an adrenaline junkie, a little bit of a masochist, not a major masochist, but a little bit of pain is fun. So yeah, it's more of a therapeutic thing for me. And I really stick a lot with like the henna and sacred geometry style tattoos because they're timeless. It's art. That's what it is. So that's kind of what I stick to. Culturally, I really like the culture too. So they kind of just stick to that. And I have to say my favorite piece is probably my stomach because it was the absolute worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And
so was that the worst
experience? Stuck it out. Yeah, it was terrible. So I love that piece. It's so beautiful, but it was more so like I got through that. So I need to appreciate it because it was awful.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I'm trying to do a lot more, but it's just time and patience.
Yeah, I've slowed down a lot with porn, because we're still getting used to bringing tattooed people onto scenes and sets and all that stuff. So I've slowed down quite a bit, just to kind of keep my career rolling.
Got you.
While we normalize tattoos, but that is also the point of me being in the industry.
Let's normalize tattoos. Actually, that's a great topic, if you don't mind. So there has been some obstacles because of industry, needing to catch up with people's bodies now. People get tattoos. It's a normal thing. So have you experienced some difficulties a little bit with that?
I personally, I'm so fortunate for as far as I've gotten with as tattooed as I am. I really don't feel that it's been a setback for me.
Okay.
I'm really fortunate. So I don't think that it's been a setback for me. There are some things that I want to definitely accomplish still. That sometimes I wonder, like, if I didn't have tattoos, would that have happened sooner for me? Stuff like that. But I don't feel that they're a problem for me.
Okay. And
so
you think you're more so mentally
mindset to have too, because sometimes you kind of attract what you fear and whatnot.
Okay.
So yeah.
Got you. Okay. So maybe it's somewhat of a mental thing that you might think if you were to do more that they may not hire you because you have
I definitely have slowed down for that reason too. Like because I don't want to create a setback and I don't feel that I have one. So I'm like, I kind of would rather maintain where I'm at and continue to ride it out while I can. Okay. And then maybe later down the road, we can revisit getting some more bigger pieces. I've gotten like one small one since shooting, but
do you know when you do start back what you really want to get done, or is there anything in particular? Like
I would love to get a full back piece. Yeah, I'd love to get a full back piece. My leg that has most of my ink on it. That one I would like to fully wrap that up and like have like a full leg sleeve for that. But those are really big invasive pieces, so I'm like, I'll just hold on for a little while. That's fine.
Got you. Okay. I love it. I just, it's a part of your feature that is captivating, and as a fan of tattoos, definitely wanted to speak on that.
I like that I have them too, because I do think that it's something that is easy to remember.
Yeah.
So
exactly. It makes you separate. There's so many other people that don't.
Standing out.
Hello, let's go. I have a lot of friends that are suicide girls, or I don't know if they still go by the suicide girls now, but
I think they do.
Okay.
It's either suicide girls or just SG. I don't know.
Yeah.
Got into it, but yeah.
Shout out to my peeps. Y'all know who you are. Neptune, all of y'all. So bam, you're killing in the industry. Again, everybody check out my girl Cassidy Luxe this Friday, Sapphire 60, her amazing new scene with Mike Andriano. It'll be on her OnlyFans. It's CassidyLuxe.com. Also, again, all the links are in the description below. After you're done checking out this interview, go follow, go subscribe, man. Support the homie. She's blowing it up. She's killing it. I want to go back real quick to your pastry chef that, you just went for school. You're doing, corporate gigs, but can Cassidy cook? That I just, when you see that, you're like, hold up. You like,
it's so funny. I actually just, like 2 days ago, I shot a scene, and it definitely involved baking and all that. So if you can only imagine what we could do with sex and baking, it was so much fun. I can't wait for that to come out. I don't know if I can share details or not, so I can't release all the information, but yeah, there is a scene coming out that will capitalize on my baking skills.
Awesome.
But yeah, I did. I went to school for baking. I thought for a while I wanted to be a pastry chef. It was definitely more of a hobby that I learned, because the chefs and stuff, they work insane hours, and I was like, I am not about that. I am not waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning Christmas Day to make treats. No, thank you. So that was quickly learned. It is a hobby, and I enjoy it. It's so much fun. But can I cook? I can cook a little bit. I can cook things I enjoy. I have a few little things that I will make, but
some go-tos.
Yeah, some go-tos, but I'm not, a super in-depth cooker or anything like that.
Okay. I dig it. I dig it. Well, yeah, when I caught that caught my eye. My father was a chef in the military.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so yeah, cool. I can only imagine. Yeah, long hours, getting up early. Just that's such a commitment. Not for me.
Nah.
So now you found your guiding light. You found what you want to do, which is so precious, so special. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming through. As you continue to do your thing and you continue to blow up, become the superstar that I know you're going to be. I'd love to have you back to just talk and show love, give you those flowers. Let's get into it. And I want to get even more nerdy. I have one last nerd question before we get up out of here. What is something nerdy that if you were to do a TED talk on, like a TED style talk on a particular subject, what could Cassidy talk about? And it can't be pastry chef because you already gave that up. We're not going to talk about going to trade school. I know you want to direct. I know this, down the third. We know tattoos. Something that the people may not know about Cassidy Luxe that you get really passionate about. Something really nerdy about. And it doesn't have to be that quote unquote, stereotypical nerdy type stuff. It could be about tax law, which I've actually had from a previous guest. So what do you get nerdy about, Cassidy?
I'm a Disney adult. So I don't think a lot of people actually know that. I think people that follow me on Instagram, they see I'm in Disney all the time, but I'm actually a Disney adult, and I really can go like toe to toe on some Disney. What would you call that? Trivia. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Trivia. Yeah, I'm really good when it comes to that stuff. I love my Disney. So I think that's the one thing I definitely nerd out on, and I don't put it out there a lot, but yeah.
Excellent.
Huge Disney buff.
Let's go. Well, you're in the perfect place. I'm
actually waiting for them to re-release the annual passes. I just heard they're going to
I'm about to say
they're coming back out with them. So I'm like, okay. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. Well, thank you so much for that, Cassidy. When I'm down there and I'm heading out to Disney, I might have to hit you up. Hey, we're gonna jump on this ride. You want to go? Let's go.
Let's go.
I love it.
I'll teach you how to cheat the system too. See, that way we don't gotta wait in line very long.
You're talking my language right there. Well, Cassidy, thank you so much for your time. For the people that I have a lot of people that also listen to my interviews while they're driving in the car. All your links are in the description below, but for those that might just be listening right now and can remember, how can the people check you out, reach out to you online, anything else before we sign off?
Yeah, the handle is pretty much the same across the board. It's Cassidy Luxe on Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans, TikTok, ManyVids, Pornhub, all the places. If it's a platform, just type in It's Cassidy Luxe.
There you go, y'all. It's Cassidy Luxe in the building. NRW, nerds rule the world. Again, thank you so much. I'm going to do all the follows. Everybody, y'all need to do that too. And if you're in NYC this weekend, this Friday, go see the homie Cassidy Luxe. Throw all the money onto that
party.
bar. Do what you got to do. Show love. It's your boy Kuya P. Cassidy Luxe. Nerds rule the world. We out.
Thank you.